Happy Friday, VIP team. I know the weekdays are super busy, but I wanted to hop on with you and talk about some meal planning, meal prepping tips. I feel like there are so many benefits to meal planning. I think you can save money because it eliminates having to buy takeout. And if you meal plan, you can choose your foods in advance and also buy foods in bulk. Places like Costco, if you plan in advance. I think it saves you time. So it can be a lot of time deciding what is for dinner every night. And that also causes stress. So I think meal planning can also cause less stress. Those three things are my big things for meal planning: budget, time, and stress. So if you can set aside some time to meal plan, I think that can be super beneficial. Okay, here's my first advice, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. It's going to be a little weird. Okay, so that was sort of silly, but that's the reason why I just did that. And I was listening to like an all out 90s mix today, so that made me think about it. Is if you're someone that doesn't enjoy meal planning, pair it with something that you like doing. Take that time, listen to your favorite music. Maybe you need your favorite music to pump you up. Maybe you want to meal plan and listen to a podcast. Or maybe you want to treat yourself to something after you meal plan because you're super proud of yourself. Maybe you're going to get a fun latte afterwards. Maybe you're going to get a manicure. Maybe you're going to have a chance to sit down for 15 minutes and read a book. So if there's something like meal planning that isn't maybe your favorite thing to do, pair it with something that you like. I know I like to listen to music. It gets me pumped up. And so find something that you like to do so that you end up looking forward to it. The second thing is find a time and day that is consistent, that works for you. Put it in your calendar, schedule at the same time. So therefore, meal planning becomes part of a routine. You can put a timer in your phone, and really at that point, it can take 20 minutes to meal plan because you're given the Faster Way meal plans. I also give you on Saturday mornings my meal plan that I do in an Excel spreadsheet. And if you haven't seen that in the newsletter, there's 3 little boxes in the middle of the sheet, and it says regular meal plan, vegan meal plan, and then Alex's meal plan. So I will put all my meals in a spreadsheet for the week. I will also write them down on this. These are my dinners for my family. I will write this down on Saturday and post it somewhere. So I think this is super helpful because everyone knows what you're going to have. Now, because you have a meal plan, doesn't mean that you're always going to strictly follow it. Life happens, things come up. So when you have a plan, what I do is also order groceries. And I order groceries on Saturday or Sunday through Wednesday. And on Thursday is when I look at the meal plan, reevaluate, am I tired of cooking? Do we have something that's coming up? Do we have an event? Do I have leftovers? So thinking about those type of things, incorporate that into your plan. Also work out takeout and dinners out into your plan. If you know that your work schedule is really busy one night and you have to drive kids everywhere, then add a takeout night, add a Chipotle, have leftovers, make it easy. You want to do meal planning that works for you and your family, because if it doesn't, you won't do it. Last thing about meal planning is I have a 2-2-2-1 plan that I think will work, that makes sense. So what it is, 2-2-2-2-1 adds up to 7 meals. So there's 7 days of the week. So 2 of the days make a family favorite. And what you can do for the whole month is write out 8 meals. And that's because that's 2 per week. Meals that you know that your family is going to eat. They're meals that you make very often. Maybe it's a taco night. Maybe it's a lasagna. Maybe it's spaghetti and meatballs. Something that you know that your family is going to like. I bet you have at least 8 meals of what your family likes. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It can be frozen meatballs. It doesn't have to be a totally homemade meal. So write down those 8 meals. 2 nights, you're going to probably go out or have takeout. So that's 2 meals. So you've got 4 meals taken care of. 2 other nights, You can either do leftovers or repurpose a protein. In the Faster Way, we talk a lot about prepping a protein, which means you can make a shredded chicken, you can ground some ground beef, you can ground some ground turkey, and you can use it in different ways. You can use it in quesadillas, rice bowls. You can use it in a pasta dish. There's lots of different ways that you can do that. So we've got 2 family favorites, we've got 2 nights out or takeout, and then you've got repurposing a protein or having leftovers. So what are you going to do on the other night? You're going to look at my newsletter or look at the Faster Way guide and try a new recipe. And who knows, I feel like if you commit to one new meal every week, someone in your family is going to like it. This happened with my kids when I was making a shrimp dish. My middle son didn't eat shrimp, and I grilled it a certain way, and now he'll eat shrimp. So you will support your kids and maybe your spouse and maybe yourself. You'll surprise each other. Sometimes it can be a total bomb. I've made things that are just not good, and that's okay. But I just recommend trying new things. So 22221. That is about meal planning. And again, you have the Faster Way guide. There are some awesome recipes. You've got the app where it's almost like a whole cookbook in there of recipes that are easy, that you know will fit into your macros. So those are great. Now I want to talk a little bit about meal prepping. So a lot of people will hear the word meal prepping and seem very overwhelmed, like, oh, I have to spend all Sunday in my kitchen. No, you don't. If you feel like you can meal plan and you're confident in it and you're like, I got it, then you can do meal prepping. If you are not meal planning, don't go to meal prepping. Don't even worry about it yet, because it is a process. I meal plan, I do some meal prep, but it has taken me probably about 10 years to get here since my kiddos were born. So you have to figure out the process that works for you. One other thing about meal planning that I hear a lot is, well, what if I don't feel like that meal that day? That is something when you are committing to meal planning that you do commit to. Every meal doesn't have to be a gourmet dish every night. If I want a gourmet meal, I'm not a good cook, I will go out to dinner. But if there are times when you don't feel like it, if you just stick with your plan, over time, that's going to be a habit of, okay, we are having sheet pan teriyaki on Wednesday night, and that's what you're doing. Again, go back to, there are times when you do need to pivot and things come up. So that's why I like to buy groceries through only Wednesday, only twice a week, because I don't want to have a bunch of extra food that I end up not using and having to freeze. And I've got a small kitchen right now and a small freezer, so I don't have time for that. So meal prepping, I want to show you a couple things. I sent you a recipe for breakfast burritos. Now, they're not only breakfast burritos, I got all the ingredients here. Burritos are a great way, or breakfast sandwiches, where you can have those as breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can have them as a snack. They're a really easy make-ahead freezer meal. We made a bunch of those when we went to Colorado, and my kids love them too. They're also great because you can personalize them as to what you and your kids like. The ones in the recipe had sausage and spinach in there. My kids don't eat spinach, so I'll take that out. But then I also got some chopped up peppers that I'm going to put in there. So you can put in what you want. I wouldn't recommend putting something like a tomato that's going to have water in there, because that will not freeze well. I found this breakfast sausage al fresco at the grocery store that I'm going to use. My kids also like bacon in it. You can use Canadian ham, which is really great, or just deli ham, and cook it up. But this recipe also had diced hash browns in it. So I am super excited about making a bunch of different burritos. In terms of the tortilla, there's lots of different brands out there. You can use gluten-free. You can use an almond tortilla. I found this Joseph's Lavash, which is great too, which I'm going to test out. You can use cut to carb. There's lots of different bread options out there. If you want to make a sandwich, you can do, you can use like an English muffin or bagels, whatever your family likes. So breakfast burritos are an awesome way to have, you could serve it for dinner, serve breakfast for dinner. Who doesn't love that? Serve it with some fruit. Make sure you're putting plenty of protein in there, because you've got the eggs and you've got an additional protein. One other thing is, if you want to add extra protein to your eggs, get some egg whites. This is, I don't have my glasses, but this is 3 tablespoons, an extra 5 grams of protein. 5 grams of protein adds up. You definitely want to be hitting 100 grams of protein. So if you're not, add some egg whites to your eggs. Even if I'm making scrambled eggs, I will add some egg white as well. So if you're going to make the breakfast burrito, that's an easy way to add protein to your meals. A couple other things that recently that I'm using that are really easy on the go. I know everyone is super busy. Are these little cups of hummus and guacamole. I love these. These are really great. They're also portion control because I can eat a ton of hummus and I can eat a ton of guacamole. So these are great for on the go, or if I'm making, I use this especially on a Monday, Tuesday, on a low carb day, high fat day. So those are great because I also find when I buy avocados, they go bad really quickly lately. So I do freeze avocados for smoothies, but I love these cups too. Protein balls. I know I've sent you lots of recipes for protein balls. There's a ton of recipes in the Faster Way app. These can be frozen. So it is a great thing. Sometimes these don't even make it to my freezer because they're so good. This is the Eating Bird Food cinnamon raisin protein balls, but any protein balls can be frozen. And I put it in groups of 3. So these are great for on the go as well. My kids love these too. Sometimes I'll put chocolate chips or something. The protein balls are also something that you can personalize for what you like, what your family likes, and those are great. Big fan of these overnight oats. If you want me to send you a packet, let me know. This one is really good. It's chocolate orange. I know I've sent it to some of you. It is so easy. You buy this packet. It has all the hemp seeds and chia seeds and all the protein and everything that you need. And you mix it with almond milk. And that is a great thing on the go. Overnight oats, if you're making your own as well, that's awesome. Those last up to 5 days in the fridge. So make sure if you're not putting a protein powder in it, that you have a protein on the side, like a chicken sausage or bacon or Canadian bacon or something, because mostly overnight oats are all carbs. So you want to make sure you have some protein to fill you up with that meal. I love those. If you want one, let me know. I'd be happy to send it to you. I have a ton. Lately, I have been loving these snack boxes, and this is like a little container that I got on Amazon. I pack these also for my husband because he's going to work. In here, I have some edamame that was frozen that I defrosted, some almonds, blueberries, because I always like something fresh. You could use any sort of berries. You could even cut up some cucumbers or some peppers. And then I also put some dried apricots in there. I love that. You've got all the different carbs in here that are really great. And it makes it sort of fun to have all those little snacks together. These egg bites, I'm showing these to you because I see them everywhere now. I know Starbucks has those sous vide bites. These are from Wegmans. I just found some from Misfit Markets. But if you look, I'm sure Whole Foods, I'm sure, Star Market, everyone has these. They're already pre-made egg bites. I particularly don't love making egg bites, so I buy these and you can just pop them in the microwave. They usually have egg white ones with different vegetables, or you can have the protein ones. Some of them do have cheese, so just look out for that. But go in it's normally in the refrigerator section or freezer section. I know Costco has some good ones too, but these are awesome way to get some protein on the go. I love cutting up vegetables. I cut them on Sunday. I've got peppers and cucumbers in here. These are things that my kids eat, that I eat. That way I'm making fresh vegetables available. So if I want to dip it in hummus, dip it in the guac, or if I just want to put them in a little baggie and take them with me with my snack box on the go, these are really great. And those are vegetables that last. Also, celery is really great. And I love cherry tomatoes. Those are always really good. Marinating meats, I'm a huge fan of this. I sent you my pork marinade. We're making it this weekend. I love to make, this is something you can prep. I love to make these in advance and put them in the freezer because the flavor gets better over time. So I'm going to marinate these and then freeze them. Also, if you're going to be grilling stuff, I grill probably every Sunday. Grill extra. While the grills are hot, grill extra. So if your husband or you are going to be grilling some burgers or some pork tenderloin or chicken, make sure you're putting a lot on there because that could be your protein prep for the next week. So if you're grilling, it's a really easy way. I know it's cold out and we're not always grilling, especially in Boston. Okay, a couple of other things that I love lately are, I put in here the buffalo tuna salad. I sent you the recipe this week. It is so good. And there's not a ton of fat in it. So you could add some extra fat on a low carb day, but this is awesome for regular macro days. If you like that Frank's hot sauce buffalo flavor, it's not a ton. but it's really, really good and it's tasty. If you like tuna, tuna's awesome. I mean, with one can, you can get 30 grams of protein. It's amazing. Two other things, chicken teriyaki. I sent you the recipe this week as well. This has good veggies. It's a homemade teriyaki sauce, although you could use a clean brand for sure. There's chicken in here. This is leftovers from this week. Leftovers are a great thing to have the next day. So if you want, you don't have to have a new meal every single day because that's really hard to do. But using leftovers, and if you know you have a meal that you're really going to enjoy as leftovers, double the recipe. I will often do that a lot of times for things with my crock pot. You could also freeze it. If you're making a pasta sauce or something like that, you could freeze it and have it later. Last thing that I'm prepping, and I sent you this recipe as well, is this sweet potato salad. So this is vegetarian, vegan. It is sweet potato with black beans. This is something that is really great to make, say, on a Thursday, and then have it in the fridge all weekend. I know that we're all running around on the weekend, and it's hard to stay on track as well as we do during the week, but having something like this sweet potato salad that I can put with grilled chicken or put with some sort of protein. You could put a black bean burger on here. You could buy the Dr. Prager's veggie burgers. Those are awesome. You could put pork over here. So knowing that I have a really good, healthy side dish for the weekend, this will last up to 5 days in the fridge as well. So those are all the things I want to talk about today. I am a huge fan of meal planning, and if you don't know how to meal plan or start slow and reach out to me because I would love to help you with it. And if you have any questions about any meal planning or prepping, let me know. I am going to be actually talking about meal prepping and planning to some other coach groups. Some coaches asked me to do it. I will let you guys know about those dates if you want to join me. It would be with a big group of other coaches and their clients. I am also going to be in April, May, and June. I'm going to be doing a meal prepping series. You'll see me put it out there for people because you're in my VIP group. You will have access to it for free. And that is actually when we are going to spend half an hour, 45 minutes actually making things. In that half an hour, 45 minutes, if you have that time to meal prep, whether it's marinade, make some overnight oats, freeze your smoothies, make tuna salad, that is a really, really good use of your time. Because I love the quote, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yes, that makes sense. So planning ahead is really, really important, and just using that muscle of just planning ahead and making those intentional choices about what you're eating. I know when I'm having a busy week, what helps me be less stressed about my food is having a plan, and knowing what I'm going to eat. So all this fun stuff coming up, but I want you guys to know that it's Friday, and I hope you have an awesome weekend, and let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you soon. Bye.